Okay, Dale, I know you want to start off by talking about Scream.
Is this setup Scream the biggest lie you've been told?
You basically said there was no movies you enjoyed talking about other than Scream on your podcast after 290 episodes. Is that right? Am I catching that correctly?
Yeah, no, I had a revelation. It's not that I enjoy talking about it. It's the one I felt the most passion to talk about because every week I show up for this show that I do, Jason, and
Every week.
what am
It's
I
crazy,
talk?
the
I'm like
dedication.
I'm like clawing my way up the side of the like, and I'm like, what do I talk about? I'm so flaccid. I'm dead. I'm like monotone. And then last week I watched Scream. I hate watch Scream. Every time I watch Scream, Jason, it drops. My review drops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the only thing that's firing me up right now is to start talking about stupid Scream for the show, and I start like getting, look, I'm getting mad just thinking about the movie
Yeah, I
Scream
can
right now.
tell.
Yeah, it's like, and then I'm more mad at myself, and I'm getting passionate because I'm angry with myself that I can't do this with anything else.
Nothing else
I
gets you
can't
that
do this.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be about my my hatred, my impending growing hatred for Scream and its
I
franchise.
think this is a key feature of like middle-aged maledom is like is just that there's a dwindling number of things that'll really sort of like get you
My
peeved, like really get you going. And like you just cherish those like indefinitely. I'm not going to go into the whole rant because we've covered it enough, but the degree like the misuse of Lord of the Rings as a thematically misapplied
Oh
work of
yeah,
fiction is like one of my
Andoril.
consistent hobby horses. And like if I just really need to get out of bed in the morning, I'll just like dip into that well and just get all fired up about like all the ways in which people don't understand what Lord of the Rings is about in the tech industry. That'll get me going. That'll get me going for sure.
does it make you? But does it also make you angry that that's one of the only things that can get you going?
Definitely. I feel it's like
Yeah.
I feel it's like it's definitely some kind of death wish that's the only thing that
Yes.
will really get the blood going at this point. It feels like it feels like something else should be there for me. Yeah.
Is this
Jason.
something something you can retrain? You know, I was watching that interview with Eileen Gu, who amazing freestyle skater or skier.
The
You've been following
trader?
this?
Is
Yeah, the
she the
trader
trader?
from she grew up in Seacliff. She went to Stanford. She's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible, gold medalist,
Yeah.
but she's skiing for China because her
Yeah.
parents are from China. Not a betrayer, but she was just basically saying she spends every day focusing on neuroplasticity and thinking about how to make herself the person that she wants to be. And that she's a person that she thinks her 8 year old self would really love. So, Dale, your 8 year old self, are you where you wanted to be at this moment?
Jesus.
God,
I
what a
doubt
big
it.
question. What a big
I
question.
know. 8 years old. I'm watching what? The peanut butter solution on free Disney weekends. I don't know what I'm doing at 8 years old.
I mean, definitely at 8 years old, all I wanted was to have enough money that I could buy all the video games I ever wanted, and I've achieved
Yeah.
that. So, like,
Boom.
I feel like my 8 year old goals have really been nailed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bang. Yes.
we have industry defining podcasts. We're out there, bringing it to the people.
Industry defining.
It's this is
Yeah.
good stuff. Did you, Dale? So you're sitting there with your Team USA hat on. Did you watch Olympics? What was your high point?
There's a lot of high points this year. Curling
Yes.
was the big one. That's what I always constantly come back to. But I try to broaden my horizons as much as I could with some
Do
of the
they
other
ever
stuff.
hit? Do they ever hit a stone when they're like moving their feet really fast and going down? And it makes me so anxious every time
Yeah.
thinking they're going to kick a stone. And what happens if they do? Like, are they shot? Are they like what happens?
They're shot.
They got to be
They're
shot
crushed
by the
by
other
the
team.
stone. They dropped the stone on them from
Oh,
a great height.
It's before since the sport was invented before guns, they used the old method
It's
of
midsummer. They
bludgeoning.
they jump off the cliff.
Yeah, they blood
Okay,
eagle the other team.
Jason, did you watch any
I've
as
watched
well?
none of the Olympics. I watched
None.
a little bit. We were mostly, I mean, the Olympics started when we were away on vacation and like we weren't really watching TV. Like while we were there, there wasn't like a ton of TV. There was a station on like every night before bed, the kids wanted to watch the In Hotel.
Mm.
Like, you know, that's just like an advertisement for the hotel because it would like talk. There was like this video about crabs and turtles and stuff, and they love that. And we
Wow.
watch that literally every night. And that's the only thing we watch. We tried to like get them interested in figure skating. They like looked at it and they're like, yeah, no, that's not for us. So I followed like some of it online, but I've seen almost 0 minutes of the Winter Olympics. I do love curling though. I've always been a big curling fan.
Yeah.
Always
Yes.
been on the record for curling.
The one I think Griffin would be into is biathlon, right? Anytime there's skiing and shooting,
Yeah,
like,
Skiing,
it's-
shooting, that's
would
amazing.
do it for him for sure.
the
That's a good call.
sound that the rifles make is so fucking cool. And that notion they have to get 5 shots, they have to hit all 5, they get a penalty anytime they miss. It's like so stressful because they're pumping their hearts so hard, skiing as hard as they can, and then they have to be absolutely still and fire
Yeah.
with perfection.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's super crazy. Yeah, agreed.
I think these are the most watched games or winter games since like
Really?
2014. Yeah, we're on an upswing right now. Winter games.
I was
style.
very confused because I saw that in Europe, HBO Max had like huge ratings for these Olympics, and I was so confused because I thought NBC had like global rights. So I'm shocked to think like, what if it's not Mike Tirico and like all of the production stuff that they have? Like, what were those guys in Europe listening to? It must have been crazy.
Yeah. They just some guy.
Was it even an American? Like, do they have somebody else do it? Like, or per country? Who knows, man? I tried to get Peter. I met Peter Kafka for breakfast in Minneapolis this weekend, and I tried to get him to bite on any discussion of Olympics, and he's like, "I don't give a fuck about the Olympics." I'm like, "It's a huge media like technology thing." He's like, "I don't care. I'm not talking."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with Peter.
Love what you love.
I care about like some of the narrative about it, but it's hard to get me really excited about it. I think like, especially let's just be real. The Winter Olympics is the lesser of the 2 Olympics. Like, and so, come summertime, it'll be more interesting. I also feel the time difference wasn't working well for me. Cause we were like, we were on like Hawaii time. And so it was like, it was like some 10-hour difference or something like that. It was like, all right.
That's tough.
That's just no good.
No good. Well, Jason, what about your thoughts on close magic and mentalism? The wedding that I went to in Palm Springs featured multiple magicians that were circulating during the drinks session. And the magician came up and asked me to write down on a piece of paper, a city I had been to recently.
Okay.
And I had been to Detroit. So I wrote down Detroit. And he's like, tear it up. He's like, if you want the other page, like take the page below it, make sure there's no bleed through or anything. So crumpled it up, gave it to him. He wrote down on a different piece of paper, he wrote down Detroit within like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
How?
What did he do in the 60 seconds between you writing it
Right.
down and
He was like, he just said, yeah, I'm picturing something. He's like, I meant maybe East Coast. And I definitely gave a face there that would have said not that. But how do you get to Detroit? Like, that's pretty specific. He also got April, asked her for her best friend and pulled up the name of her best friend that she wrote down on her piece of paper.
Yeah,
He wrote it down.
I find I love close-up magic. I love close-up magic. I like mentalism. I think like, part of it is, this is again, like a classic sort of divide between us. I'm happy, like not knowing how the trick works. Like, I just think it's fun. I think it's just fun to like sort of see, people who are really good at it. I particularly like card tricks.
Yeah.
And, I went to the Magic I think we may have talked to this, but I went to the Magic Castle in LA.
You and Neil Patrick
many
Harris?
years ago. Me and Neil Patrick Harris, back when we were dating. And he like, it's great because like, there's like the big stage and like people, you'll see like a whole show there, but then you can just go to the bar and the bartender's like a close-up magician and he'll do shit just for like you and the person you're having drinks with. And that's like my favorite, is just like someone who's like really good doing close-up magic, for a very small group of people. Love that shit. Yeah. David Blaine came to the Twitter office too in like 2008 or 9 or something like that.
What was his entourage like?
He was traveling really light. I think it was just like him. Maybe Saka brought him. I can't remember, but he was not with a crew at that time. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that stuff's great. Obviously, he's good at that too.
Dale, you ever think about that? I did get Sam a magic book because he was talking about card tricks. So I got him a magic book and a couple of Theory 11 nice card decks, hoping that he would get into that. But instead, we've just been playing Magic.
If I Google Theory 11 and it comes up as like the most premium playing card ever, I'm going to throw my monitor across the room.
They do like the Dune playing cards and the Star Wars playing cards and the Game of Thrones playing cards, but then they also make they're like $15, I think, and they're not like crazy expensive.
It's like $10,000 a card.
They're rated.
When I was little, my grandmom was all super into Avon, and she got this Magic VHS with Michael Amar is his name. I'll never forget the name. Michael Amar, Magic with Michael Amar, and I used to watch that thing daily. I was so into it. Now,
Wow.
I could dazzle me with some Magic. I'd be into it.
Was there an Avon Magic kit you could purchase, or this was just like a perk of being part of the Avon family?
It was just one of the things they were selling that wasn't makeup or Skin So Soft in the Avon catalog.
Skin So Soft.
Skin So Soft. We use a lot of Skin So Soft in our family because it's like a mosquito repellent.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for
Is that what it was designed for?
It's not, but half of my
side
family is very mosquito like attracting. Like both. I think it's Beverly Crystal, and I think it's Griffin. The mosquitoes just swarm to them, and they're like very reactive to the mosquitoes. And I never get bit as a result because I live with these two mosquito magnets. But it turns
the
out
Filipino they're like into.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Skin So Soft.
Skin So Soft. You put that on, mosquitoes don't fuck with you.
Exactly.
This
Amazing.
is not an ad.
Speaking of not ads, Jason, it's generally bad to launch military strikes against Iran.
Yeah, I'm not for the massive World War III plan against Iran. I definitely think the theory that he's just going to do it during the State of the Union seems plausible. So I'm not for spectacle-based wars. And yeah, I think it's not great.
It seems very bad. And the fact that there's no discussion or case being made, there's no building any alliances. This is all just.
Yeah. Well, there's no I think we've talked, he's not even doing the sort of manufactured consent step of like explaining to people why this should happen. It's
just
like,
vibes.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great. But then again, it doesn't seem like, I don't know. There's not going to be like protests in the street to stop the attack on Iran. So it's like, he probably calculates he can just get away with it because we live in this failed time. And he's probably right.
But then this notion that they're being pulled down by the toilets. There's too many people, not enough toilets on that.
Suspicious story. I'm just going to say that that seems like a suspicious story to me. I feel like if there's, I think
it's NPR.
I'm sure
NPR.
there's something. No. It's not. I don't think as though like the reporter fabricated it. I just think it was like based on something that maybe isn't entirely true. I feel if there's one thing that the military is pretty good at this point, it's lines, supply lines, and logistics. And I just feel like they're not gonna
think toilets. You think there'd be enough toilets?
I think they're gonna figure that out. That's not gonna prevent the war from happening. If that was the theory, the war will still happen.
All right, fair enough. There was no toilet thread in Crimson Tide. That was not.
No, they never hit the head in that one.
Part of the program. Well, Dale, we are so thrilled to have you back here. You are the co-host of Bat and Spider, and I want to say your podcast. We have been just in the process of chasing you guys now for 5.5 years as we approach the countdown to 300. So you guys were ahead of us this whole time. You were about 8 episodes ahead of us. And then I don't know if you're familiar with the military term stealing a march. But we were able to record. We did 9 episodes on Andor last year. And then we just hit a bunch other. But now this is episode 297 of Escape Hatch. Only 3 more to go. And we'll hit that.
More to go, baby.
I can't believe I'm on the close the 3rd episode to 300 on Escape Hatch right now. This is huge for me.
It's huge for you, but I will say in fairness, you didn't count in your 290 the 160 episodes you did of Crypt Keeper's Coffin and what else? You did one other one, right? You did.
Yeah, the Hammer House of Horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to bring it up. I was going to stay humble, because I already know, we're past 300 at this.
Obviously. And you have
Obviously.
300 on Paper Keg under your belt.
I do. Look at this. God.
So many freaking episodes, man.
It's impressive.
disgusting.
I just wanted to shout you out. I'm so thrilled to have you here. You're a huge inspiration to me, this podcast. I would literally not be here if it weren't for you. The Silver Fox, the VP of Marketing,
Dude,
the original
thank
Bad
you.
Boy, the original podcast Bad Boy, Dale _A.
That's a lot of AKAs. That's
Thanks,
pretty
H.
strong.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me on.
We're very grateful to have you.
I have been trying to get us for like the last 3 years to get you on this podcast to talk about this movie, which is a 1996 classic. I can be a real hater on the 90s. And this one, I just have had fond memories, even though I haven't seen it in 30 years. But we are finally doing Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy. The Cable Guy.
Love
Yes.
Cable guy.
We'll be doing that at the bottom of the hour. Before we do, Jason, Dale, next week, we welcome gamer, startup founder, and the author who was the head game designer for Magic the Gathering at Wizards of the Coast from 2000 to 2006, Ian Schneider.
Wow,
Nice.
that's amazing.
Brian is great. He's a dad that I met at school, and he went from running research at for Magic, head designer for Magic the Gathering, to basically doing video games, Zynga, and a bunch of other kind of like internet social stuff. And he's now written a book about what it was like running Magic, and also being on the world professional tour. Like in 99 with his dad and his brother, who were also on the Magic World Pro Tour.
Wow.
Crazy shit.
That's great.
we
Should I
will be
play
getting-
Magic the Gathering before next week?
Yeah, you want to come over?
No. I'm
Are you
not gonna
free?
do that. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not coming over. But
You want me to come over to your place? You want me to
Jason,
bring
have
some
you
cards?
ever effed with Magic in the past?
I've the
wow.
only trading
Get
card
his ass,
game-
Dale.
The only trading card game I played a lot of
Hearthstone.
Yeah, I played a lot of
You
Hearthstone for a
fucking-
good long while.
Yeah.
And loved it. And
You and Deborah. Yeah, totally.
yeah, that was great.
Nice. That makes sense.
Crystal even played Hearthstone for a while. It's really fun. And it's basically it's, pretty similar. But yeah, I've never played Magic. I like watching some of like the Magic TikToks where people pull like the rare cards and shit. I think that's fun.
Well, Alyssa Liu and Amber at the Olympics were pulling cards.
Yeah,
and
saw
having
some
fun,
of that.
which
I like that.
Ama-
I like it when they
amazing.
pull the cards. I think that part's fun. But yeah,
That
I don't know anything about the actual. I don't know much about the actual game, like in terms of actually playing it.
It's very cool, although it's changed quite a bit. Brian's like, I cannot believe how many fucking words there are in these cards now. This is
There's a lot of
ridiculous.
words on the cards. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. But so I offered him tons of movies and he rolled through. And in the end, it's really funny. Complete coincidence. We're doing back-to-back Jack Black classics as we go from Jack Black in The Cable Guy to Jack Black just a couple of years later in High Fidelity.
Oh,
Amazing.
Boom.
I love this movie.
I haven't seen it in 30 years.
I haven't seen it in a while.
20
but
years?
I love it.
Yeah. Godly. I cannot wait. The soundtrack was just on repeat for a decade or more, at least.
I love it. Yeah.
Really,
Beta
really good.
Band?
So that
When
that
we bump
is
into
next.
Beta Band.
Yeah, exactly. That song rules. So that is next week. High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
Can we do some quick Hatch news?
Hatch news from beyond.
How about, guys, what is your take on... Dale, do you ever see this, that Russell Crowe has become a watch TikToker? You heard about
you
this?
know, it's somehow it came across my desk before this very show.
The Algo. The Algo.
Dialgo? Is that what he's
The
rocking?
Algo.
Oh, the Algo. Oh, what kind of watches does he have? I haven't seen it. Tell me about it. What?
H,
You watched the video.
You told me to
You
watch
watched
this
the
thing.
video.
And you
Jason, you watched the video, right? I sent it to you.
I didn't watch it. I ignored
My
it.
fucking Christ.
I run
Feel
an
alive
AI
right now.
agent that automatically
Okay.
replies to your messages and sends
Okay,
them to
fine. Here we go. Here's what he said. Son of a bitch.
I'm on cloud
Now,
nine right now.
this is an air pressure gauge, a manometro. So Giuliano's first watch was called the manometro. This one is a blue face. Yes, I do have a fair amount of blue faces. This wasn't the one that I originally bought, but I remembered when I went to do this that I gave that away. I gave it to a friend of mine. So the manometro also comes as a chronometer. Now you'll see how the crown is slightly kicked off, right? That's because he was a rally car driver and he didn't like the crown digging into his hand when he was driving. This is probably my favorite manometro that I have. This is the 10th anniversary edition. This is actually the color that I bought originally. And you can see I've kept this one in the plastic because I'm pretty chuffed with it. I like it a lot. Now,
chuffed.
after the manometro, he
It's chuffed.
It's an interesting.
so-
It's a very like weird brand. Like it's a very like kind of niche watch brand. Like for some real nerds. Yeah, it's a. Real,
Is it a good one?
It's like a very particular weird brand. It's like not a high end luxury brand. I don't know the history of like, are they buying their movements and, putting them in something else? Like put them in the watch. They got some decent looking pieces. They seem to fit a little high on the wrist for my taste, I'll say. But very approachable price point for a mechanical watch. And,
It's just funny because like Crow's sitting there, he's in his office, and he's like, there's literally just an Oscar sitting on the desk off to the side, and like papers and shit all over the place.
yeah,
He looks like he's having a good time.
that's good for him. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish he was making another Good Guys movie. But
Nice guys, yeah.
nice guys, yeah. But what can you do? What can you do?
Can you do?
Can you do?
What can you- Dale, what's your most recent watch that you've bought?
It would have been a G-Shock. It's all I buy. Cheap G-Shocks. I do. Yeah, I do. I love them.
Yeah,
That's all I
they're
can say.
classic. A classic. I've been rocking them since 1982. I just haven't had one in 40 years. Let's see. Second piece of Hatch news: Matthew McConaughey and Timothy reunited for a CNN town hall. Like, what's going on here? CNN town hall. Variety sponsored it, but I'm just not quite. I didn't quite get it. Didn't quite make sense to me.
I didn't quite. I don't know. I saw a lot of clips from it. This is all I assume like Oscar run up shit in some form, right? Like
For sure.
It's just like people are just like, yeah, we want to get these people in places and have them do things.
For sure.
Timmy,
This
talked
one
about,
at the University of Texas, at Austin.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
Tim was Archie there? Was it?
Arch Manning was not there. Let's hear a little bit. Let's just hear just a little bit from this interview.
But it was clear to me then that, whatever this young man does latch onto, he will catch it. So, congratulations.
Man, thank you, Matthew. I got to say, my last day on Interstellar, I was very moved. I was sad to be leaving, And I went in my trailer, and I went in the bathroom, and there was a huge turd in my toilet. I was like, I felt so disrespected because I thought, oh, man, I know I'm not the star in this movie, but, like, who's coming? So I went around to all the huge grips. We were in the suburbs of Canada, these big guys. I said, hey, did one of you guys, let it loose in my trailer? And they said no, and I went up to Nolan on set, too. I said, I'm not sure. And he kind of pointed to Matthew, and I liked that Matthew had this devilish grin on his face, like, right now, man. And I said, why'd you do that, man? He said, it's coming in Texas, it's coming of age, baby. He's like,
Souvenir.
a little souvenir. That's a true story. That's a true story. I remember coming to set on Interstellar, and you saying to me,
Pretty
How does
good,
that
huh?
track?
Not bad. I love.
You
to
think
see those
McConaughey
guys.
never flushes the toilet? You think it's
Oh
just a
my
thing? He probably just never does.
Power
Disgusting.
move?
It is a power move.
Someone else will get it.
That's disgusting.
Speaking of flushing the toilets, Jason, for 12, 13 years, 14 years or whatever, Breaking Bad, the episode Ozymandias, has
Yes.
sat with a perfect 10.0 rating. Unheard of. on IMDb, and those fuckers found out when they fucked around with Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They started review bombing the final episode, and the Game of Thrones fans wiped them out. Ozymandias now down to a 9.7.
Pretty amazing. There was a tremendous memes about this. There's a lot of good reuses. Tell Ozymandias I wanted to know it was me. There's a lot of like Battle of the Bastards like stuff. I really liked it. I mean, I think like I don't really know how whatever these ratings mean and how they're determined doesn't seem to be a particularly scientific endeavor, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms was fantastic. It was a really delightful 6-episode show. Really enjoyed it. Really liked the finale. I think the opening of the 6th episode, where it's the scene between like Lionel
by the tree,
and Dunk. Yeah, and then like the Maester's like, "I'm sorry, my lord. His wounds have petrified,
they're beyond me.
Yeah, they're beyond my skills." It's like an itchy asshole is beyond your skills. I think that is one of the. I think this, and then he says, the caravan departs after the roast, and it cuts to the funeral pyre of Darian, and the roast is the funeral.
Yeah.
I think it is some of the funniest writing in the history of Game. I mean, it's not like that's a huge
for sure,
but like it is so funny. And like Lionel Baratheon is such like a breakout star. It was a delight to watch this show this season. Really excited about it coming back in just a year. And that's like kind of the more exciting thing is that like House of the Dragon is in 3 months. It's in June. They're already going to get like this next, they know they've got a winner with, this Dunk and Egg show. That's going to be back, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
They figured out how to like finally turn the crank on this Game of Thrones franchise. Despite the fact that George is like refusing to write any new Game of Thrones content except for whatever play he is staging in London's West End.
The Mad King and the other tourney at Harrenhal, which was like
cool.
that was like the biggest event in history.
Exists. I'm sure if I'm like HBO, I'm like, thanks, George. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Glad you're having fun writing your fucking play. Could you write like, because like they run out. There's
anything.
There's only 3 novellas, right? Like they don't have like George has said he's got ideas.
He said
for 12
13
of them or whatever, but he doesn't have.
13.
There's no shit. And then obviously we know there's no end of Game of Thrones. He's pissed because like he didn't write more of the stuff that they're basing the House of the Dragon off of. It's just like I don't know. A knight finishes his tail, George.
That's right. Ira said he wanted to do 4 to 5 seasons of Dunk and Egg on the Road, and then he wanted to do 4 to 5 seasons later after like a 10-year gap, and then he wanted to do another 10-year gap and then do 4 or 5 more seasons.
So like 15 seasons of the show is what he has in mind?
Basically, but through aging, like he wants to wait for, they're obviously not going to wait for Dex to age up. Like they're going to just do these episodes and then they're going to recast and then they'll keep going. But I think we'll get 10. I think we'll get 10 or 12 of this if this continues to work in the way that it has.
10 or 12 seasons?
These seasons, yeah. And what's funny is this is supposed to be the cheap one, but like people are going to get so hyped, they're going to start pumping more and more money. In the end, it's going to end up getting bigger. Dale, where are you on Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Game of Thrones in general?
No, I hate to sound like Dale_A here, but I don't have time. I don't watch it. I watched the first episode of Night of the Seven Kings. I really like it, but I don't need I don't have appointment television like you guys. I'll watch it. I'll go watch it when I watch it.
Yeah, you'll watch it. I agree with you.
That's exactly what Jonesy said. Jonesy's like, I don't have time to watch anything.
Don't get talked into some shit.
No,
yeah.
I mean, you're in Bat and Spider watch parties until all hours of the morning watching Vice Squad 4 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Rick Sloan needs our viewership. Not fucking Matt Smith trying to fuck his cousin on screen.
I mean,
you
raise a fair point. Hey, last piece of Hatch news. How about this? This is crazy. So he's talked about it. I thought it was just cloud talk all this time. Ryan Coogler has greenlit his X-Files reboot over at Hulu. This is wild, and starring Station 11's Danielle Deadwyler, who was incredible in Station 11. Great actress, has done a bunch of other amazing things. I'm very nervous about this because, like, I Like, I don't see how it works to kind of like be living in that world, but I just love the idea that he wants to do it. And he's that committed that he would use his own personal capital to write and direct the pilot and go do this thing. It's nuts.
It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. I mean, I guess he's got a vision for it. Like, you know, let's see let's let our guy cook.
Were you Dale big X-Files guy?
I watched most of it off, like, not in a row, not binging it. Just back when it was on, I would watch it. But again, you know, I wasn't like, I don't care either way about this X-Files reboot. Let's just say that.
You're like, there's no nudity on this show. This is a Fox.
Right.
This is like...
Every time I come on the show, I look like the most aloof piece of crap.
Dale,
There's stuff I do. There's stuff that I watch.
Books? Are you literate? Are you able to read? Do you know your ABCs? Here's my thing about the X-Files.
I started tiptoeing around when he brought up the most perfect episode of TV ever. What was it, Breaking Bad or something? I'm like on eggshells. I'm like, here we go.
Here we go. This is like, there's two things I want to say about this. One is, this brings to mind the infamous David Brooks column where he was trying to make the case that it's unclear what point he was trying to make because it was terrible, but he was trying to make the case that like coastal elites often do not recognize like sort of the social anxieties of the working class. I think was like sort of broadly the thesis. To illustrate this, he talked about how he brought a friend of his into a sandwich shop.
To a
sandwich shop in Midtown New York, and the friend was like completely blown by like seeing pastrami and gabagool like written on a board or something like that. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to just go and get a burger instead?" And the friend was so relieved. He's like, "This is the kind of empathy we must have for like our lesser cultured brethren," which is just like one of the shittiest takes of all time. And I love bringing it back up. That's thing one. Thing two, on the X-Files, I've been trying to pitch this concept, which I'll share here, which is like Trump briefly said that they were going to investigate Obama for revealing the aliens, for revealing that the aliens were real, and that was a breach of national security secrets. My idea is that for the Obama Presidential Center opening in June, they should get like X-File agents to come up and arrest get like Duchovny and Jillian to like come up and arrest him like mid-speech as like a stunt, which I think would be good for engagement, online engagement.
You get some numbers on that for sure.
From that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my idea.
God damn.
Don't worry, don't worry, Dale _A. We won't talk about Gabagool too much. Make you feel
right.
culturally
I'm walking on eggshells.
inferior
Here we go.
by talking about Breaking Bad and pastrami sandwiches and whatever else.
What did you say one of the times you were here before that you would just say, "Whoa, that's wild, man. That's wild."
So yeah, just to try to be like, please don't probe me any further. I can sell it just by saying, "Wow, that's wild." Wow.
No probing. Hey, let's welcome Lilith Aurora, a new Discord member.
All right.
All the rest were all bots. And
we
they
have a
all
lot of other bots.
compound sand.
bots.
Wow, you got bots joining? Or
We
Yeah.
had someone who, it wasn't really maybe sort of questionably a bot, but like we had someone who came in and was like, "Hey, do you guys need any AI development? Like, I'm willing to sell some AI services." Like, brother, we are full up on that. Like, we are good to go. We do not need to contract for your services. I am running 17 agents at all times.
Nice try. All right, are you guys ready to get into this movie?
Let's go.
The Cable Guy is the search for a clear connection and the darkness that can emerge when we get our wires crossed. Mild-mannered architect Stephen Kovacs just moved into a new apartment after his gorgeous girlfriend Robin broke up with him for being too clingy when he asked her to marry him. But Stephen's life takes an unintended turn when television service installer Chip Douglas gives him the ultimate media package in exchange for a shot at friendship. Sucked into Chip's charismatic vortex, Steven will find himself broadcasting a newfound confidence and success in his work and love life, only to discover the truth that Chip is a dangerously unhinged stalker who will stop at nothing to get the validation and attention he so desperately craves. As things spiral out of control, can Steven change the channel and take back control, or will he find his life scrambled into static by the cable guy?
Dun, dun, dun. This was the hardest one you've had to write?
No, this was very easy, although I kind of went crazy with the cable metaphors. I was kind of like having fun. I was like, I'm just trying to keep things spicy after 297 episodes. I want it to be fun. Dale, tell me, what was the first time you ever saw The Cable Guy?
Well, Cable Guy, for me, I went to the movies to see The Cable Guy. I was 15 years old, and Jim Carrey was just like me, my identity at that time. I mean, from the two Ace Ventura movies in and around that time, In Living Color, watching In Living Color way too young, but it spoke to me. And Jim Carrey was just, was must see for me. Like, he influenced my humor as kind of obnoxious as it probably was at that point with the Ace Ventura movies and stuff. I clung to the good dude, and I couldn't wait for The Cable Guy. I went to the movies to see this movie, and the marketing machine like made it to be like it's going to be this zany, wacky comedy. I remember being like clearly duped by the marketing of the movie, but yeah, man, I was there.
Did you?
I had this on VHS. I watched it all the time.
So did you struggle with it? Like the fact that it was so different, that tonally so different?
Tonally, it was really like a shock to my system at first because it was a lot darker than, the marketing would have ever let on for, I think, and my expectations for a Jim Carrey movie to be. And, there were times where I kind of struggled with, like, there are times I love this movie, but some of the darkness was, did I love this movie because
the same way
I'm just sticking to my boy? I'm sticking to, like my boy Jim Carrey. It was a lot darker than, so I didn't find it as funny then. I didn't find it as enjoyable then. And then it just grew on me like crazy. But also I had the ability to like, ironically love the Jim Carrey version of Somebody to Love because they would play it on MTV in the box like constantly. So I was like, I can embrace this and it would be my shit. And but I probably watched The Cable Guy more ultimately than I watched Ace Ventura 1 at least. Yeah. So I really I grew up
it's stuck.
Ultimately loving this movie. But it was like jarring at first.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at 16, I got 15, I can imagine. How about you, Jason?
I saw it once in the theater. I think Jim Carrey, I was sort of like a mixed feelings about. I really didn't care for Ace Ventura when I was a kid for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I love The Mask though, but maybe just because Cameron Diaz was hot. But I liked I definitely liked sort of how cartoonish Jim Carrey presented in general. I thought there's something interesting about that. It just wasn't like, it didn't really stick for me as much. I did like In Living Color, and so remember him from that. I don't know. I saw this movie once. I didn't really have an appreciation of Ben Stiller or like, anything about it. I liked Matthew Broderick and was like kind of confused about what he was doing in it. I sort of remember being underwhelmed about the movie, like when I saw it as like a teenager. And definitely like, I don't think would have understood or resonated with like the media commentary that this movie is ultimately sort of thematically most interested in, which I have like sort of a different lens on now. I was excited to revisit for this pod, but, because like Ben Stiller now means something completely different to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was excited to revisit.
Nice. So I saw this in the theater. I was living in Minnesota at the time and absolutely loved it. Had it on DVD, watched it a bunch of times. Got to know like every line of this movie. really impressed by him and by Jack Black, Stiller. I had seen Reality Bites, obviously, but and I might have watched a little bit of the Ben Stiller show, not a ton, but I don't think I knew Ben Stiller. I didn't see this because it was a Ben Stiller directed movie, but it immediately struck me, and we'll get into all the reasons in a minute. Quick behind the scenes. So, first-time screenwriter Lou Holtz Jr. conceived The Cable Guy while working as a prosecutor in Los Angeles. So, he saw cable company employee in the hallway of his mother's apartment building and was like, what's he doing here so late? Bidding war results, $1 million price for this, which is big dollars. But it was originally intended as a light comedy. I never saw the movie What About Bob? I think that's is that Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah, I never saw that one either.
But it's kind of like the annoying guy doing whatever. And in the end, Judd Apatow came in to produce. He wanted to direct. He was not allowed to direct. He brought in Stiller, who was chosen to direct, wanted to star, but was not allowed to star. But he worked they worked with Holtz. They did 4 drafts and each one got darker before Holtz was finally like, all right, I'm out of here. This is too much for me. So Apatow took over and finished it off, although he did not get any writing credit, much to his duress. Stiller said that they shot every scene with a dark version and a light version, and that he was surprised the studio didn't object to the violent ending.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they very much knew what they were doing and had a theory of the case here. Casting near misses. The role of the Cable Guy was originally sold with Chris Farley attached to star.
Ooh, would have been a different.
That is
creature.
a very different
Yeah.
movie. Very different movie. But he
That's like
dropped out.
Beverly Hills Ninja 2 at that point. It's like
Exactly.
just a whack.
God, Tommy Boy, the
Tommy
greatest
Boy.
comedy of the 90s.
God, maybe.
So he dropped out due to scheduling difficulties, which I assume is drug issues. Adam Sandler was also considered. Carey received $20 million, which was then a record amount. And yeah, so he had done Ace Ventura, the Ace Ventura movies, and we'll get more to him in just a minute. But Stiller and Apatow went to him. He was shooting Ace Ventura 2 in South Carolina, and they basically just sat with him and worked it, and they figured out bits that he wanted to do, and they reworked the script to basically give him a lot more chance to shine. And clearly he was game for really going it with his character, which I absolutely love. He won the MTV Movie Awards in 1997 for Best Comic Performance and Best Villain. Dale, hosted that year by Mike Myers and featuring performances by Bush, Jewel, In Vogue. Like, it's good times.
Man.
You were watching that, right? You were watching that at home.
Yeah, the MTV Movie Awards, mid to
I
late
watched
90s.
a lot of that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was an event. It was a huge event.
Jim Carrey
Huge
would
event.
be there and just be fucking energetic.
Insane.
Energetic as H, like an insane person on that stage.
Well, they always have that great thing where
A lot of
Chris Isaac kissed somebody on stage without her permission, and then
that's right.
I think it might have been Cameron Diaz, and then Carey got called on stage by Isaac for winning Best Kiss or something, and he came up and he kissed Chris Isaac without
funny.
asking him for permission.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
so I
good.
love
Remember
it.
there was a lot of like
Wiki
Ben
game?
Stiller bits on the movie awards. Remember that, or the music awards?
Yeah.
Like Ben Stiller
a lot of
when he was in the Backstreet Boys with
pre-recorded-
the Z.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all timer bits, man.
Yeah, and then especially for Tropic Thunder, right, when that came out. I mean, this was 10 years before that, but that was kind
Ben
of like the
Stiller's
peak.
like
of
an interesting bird because he's like it's like clearly he's like he's comedy royalty and like he's clearly a funny person, and yet like he always seems like kind of a downer. Like his general like kind of public like presentation is sort of like as like yeah. And like the themes that he's interested in, like in his movie
darker.
making, are super
Yeah.
dark and fucked up. Like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it like he doesn't. There doesn't seem to be a lot of sunshine coming out of him.
No.
Anyway, just an observation.
No, that
Yep.
is fair. That's fair.
Did you ever see the? I bought this I think I bought this blind bought, but that movie with Taya Leone and Ben Stiller. Flirting with Disaster. Did you ever see
I
that
never
movie?
saw that. I never saw that one.
David
I
O.
think
Russell
I
movie?
might. I think I might have seen it. I
Right,
mean, I was
David O.
like
Russell.
the crush level on Taya Leone was like
Yeah.
there was no upper limit.
Yeah,
there was
it
no
was.
horizon. There will be no horizon to your crush. My God.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. That Ben Stiller stuff, man.
He
He's-
made that
he's so
movie
good.
where he played like what's like the guy who wrote Alf and he's addicted to drugs, like that movie. Have you seen
Yeah.
that one? That
Walter
was, like,
Mitty, The Secret Life
no,
of
no,
Walter
that's a
Mitty.
different. That's a different movie. He
Zoolander 2.
Permanent Midnight. Is that the
Permanent Midnight.
Oh, I love Permanent Midnight.
Permanent Midnight.
That
Yeah,
crazy.
dude.
There's
and
a
Pullman
scene-
is Pullman in it as well or not? Oh no, that's the other one. That's
That's
the
the other
Zero
one.
Dark or
Less Than
whatever.
Zero or whatever.
Less than zero. No, not less than zero. Whatever it is. Okay, go ahead.
The Zero Effect.
The guy who made Elf, right, is the one you're talking about. The Alf,
Alf.
the heroin addict. Yes. Oh my God.
That's right.
That's a
And,
good
I mean, look, Permanent Midnight. Maria Bello, Elizabeth Hurley,
Ooh.
Owen Wilson's back. Janine Garofalo's back.
What year is that? Is that 2000?
That's 98.
98. Jesus. I think Kev wants to do that one. Yeah, just
So good.
amazing. It's just a wild
Fucking
run.
Ben Stiller, dude.
The budget on this movie, $47 million. Worldwide box office, $103 million. They did it, but it was not like an Ace Ventura level. It was clearly like not everybody was up for it. I think it has a 57% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So it definitely is not fully beloved. June 1996, The Rock, Mission Impossible, Twister, Dragonheart,
Jesus.
Independence Day.
You
Damn.
really could go to
Crazy.
the movies in the summer of the
You really could. Multiple nights a week.
Doesn't it
Yes.
seem, speaking of like middle-aged rage, doesn't it seem a little bit of a bummer that like pretty clearly at this point the mid-90s is the best we're ever going to have it, like for the rest of our lives at least, like that, like, you know, just like macro speaking, like the mid-90s was the high point, like it was clearly
Yeah.
like really good, just, and we're just not gonna touch that again in this lifetime or the next.
I mean, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I would give it the
kinda.
mid 80s, but yeah.
No,
You
the
think
90s, because it was like, but like post the like Cold War defeat, like we'd won, like there was no like, you know, there's no existential threat anymore. Like it was just like, I don't know, we were just king shit. Like it was this
Clinton balanced the budget. We were
this
like, we were
period
going to
of,
make
like,
it.
complete U.S. hegemony and like prosperity, and you know, like our scandals were like, you know, not to make light of the Monica Lewinsky situation, but like, you know, come on, like it just doesn't compare to the shit that we're going through now. I don't know. Tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one for us.
Yeah.
Tough one for us. All right, Dale, I chose this movie. Where do you want to start? What is your first point?
So why did you choose that movie and me? I'm curious. Me and Jim Carrey?
Because of the idea of this is almost a horror movie, right? It's just really funny, and it's 90s. And so to me, I like the idea of a stalker who is getting in and destroying your life. And it's not a slasher flick, but to me, it definitely reads as a stalker horror flick. And I just felt like this would be right down your wavelength.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Why'd you
It just
pick this piece of shit?
it just so happens that it's, you know, it's a movie that I idolize too, but you know, I don't I've never like shouted it from the rooftops or anything. I just love this movie eternally for all time.
No.
Gosh, where do we start?
You want me to start?
The Facts of Life shout out. I mean, if anything with a Facts of Life shout out, and it's in my top 5. You know,
What did that
Maybe
mean to
my
you? What
top
did the
one.
facts of life? Yeah, what did that mean? And who were you most in love with?
who was I most in love with? Oh man. Well, I was, you know, Facts of Life was a daily watch for me during the summer. If I could watch 2 episodes of Facts of Life and then maybe some What's Happening,
You're
I was
golden.
gold, baby. I was like, this my afternoon is gonna suck because then Hawaii 5-0 comes on and all that crap, which I wasn't into at the time. But at the time, I think I couldn't see it. I was 15. I didn't have a computer at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if maybe even web TV was a thing yet. Like we were.
I don't think so. In 96?
But I don't know how short-sighted I was versus what this movie told me and us what was coming. Maybe in a just different iteration. It's not with your TV. It was not necessarily with your TV in the beginning. But you're getting more connected with via computers and then games consoles and stuff. But I don't think I saw it at the time, and I don't know if I believed and or just could see that part of like Chip Douglas's, mantra or belief in the future.
We were so alive in that moment. TV, internet, you can play, whatever.
Mortal Kombat with your friend in Vietnam.
What a crazy! I mean, this was my first point, was the 90s, but just this idea of it, 96, the internet really starts to go mainstream in 94, 95. Windows 95 is the first one to have a built-in TCP IP stack, and all of a sudden everybody's on the internet. You have a built-in, browser. So it just felt really transformative. I remember I was at a regional network in Minnesota that had 90% of the traffic there. And I was doing dial-up tech support. And one of the things that they were very worried about was if you combine your cable bill and your internet bill, you end up with a very expensive bill. They're worried about people having sticker shock. And I guess we had no fucking idea how bad this shit was going to get in terms of how expensive all these, all these connections are going to be and all these subscriptions we have. But the 90s, it feels so like we thought media was a corruptive influence back then. We had no fucking idea what was coming.
Yeah, that was sort of my first point, which was like what is the saying about media? What is the media critique in this movie? And I think like hold on. Okay, sorry. There's like a text message that says, "Hi, this is Diane calling from the police," and I just wanted to make sure that all was well.
Hi, Diane.
It's not the real police. No, but I think like the movie's obviously there's this moment where the number of channels that you could get, the amount of content you could get, and like the advent of cable news were all sort of blended together in people's like perceptions of what is this doing to society. And I think like the least well-aged bit of that is that the number of channels is in somehow a relevant factor. Like the proliferation of choice in terms of content is not, I don't think, like there's an element of that that's interesting as we get to like the current moment, which is like all media is niche media, whatever into, you can find like your own little niche for it, which is like, like to wit, this podcast. But like, the idea that is having some kind of deleterious effect is there's an element of that there, which is like, there's no longer like one grand monoculture that we all tap into and have like sort of a, we don't all, have like the same familiarity with the same kind of cultural reference. Like
except for Andor.
Yeah, we all like Dale is scared to talk about Ozymandias. But like the part that's really the most relevant is the cable news part, because cable news, I think you can break a pretty good argument, has had a deleterious effect on like public discourse and our politics and like the way that like the country is governed. It creates this 24-hour news cycle, and like people are always having to do things to respond to it, and it did increase like sort of the demand for sensationalized news. And I think there is something to that. I think that aspect of the commentary feels more in the background. And that really the media commentary that you get in this is almost more like Jonathan Chait, like anti-screen time. Like it's like, the kid was put in front of the TV babysitter too young, and that cooked his brain irreparably. Which I don't know. I mean, there's obviously an element of that we're negotiating now with the screen time debates. Yeah, I don't know if I really buy the like, oh, he watched too much. It was like he was put in front of the TV and that like turned him into a psychopath.
Worked for Dale. A couple facts of life, and he was golden.
Take the good, you take the bad, guys.
timeless lessons. Right. Goes back to the Bible.
I mean, I thought the part I thought worked the best for this, and this is partly because, I mean, you have to remember 96 is right after OJ, but the whole Double Trouble plot thread of this movie with Ben, holy shit, man. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Jesus. And I'm pretty sure he was Asian.
Oh, yeah. He was speaking Asian.
Most of the time, I like how most of the time you just see Ben like reacting to this. And he's like throwing his glasses down on the like the court bench and stuff. He's just free, you know. I just love those things with like somebody's voicing over, but he's just like clearly, you know, flustered with whatever they're talking about in the courtroom. Yeah. You never really.
And
get
then
to
Eric
hear...
Roberts, getting Eric Roberts in there.
Yeah.
So funny, man. So funny. But yeah, that was such a weird time where that was sort of like the ascendancy of the Jerry Springer, Menendez brothers, like all this stuff that was going on. I don't know. It was really wild. I will say, you know, again, for as much as I slam the 90s, the soundtrack on this movie is fucking nuts. So I'm not I'm much more an Alice in Chains guy than a Jerry Cantrell guy, but you know, I could admit, Leave Me Alone, definitely a great one. Silverchair, I don't care for. You called out Jefferson Airplane, amazing. But when we get to the basketball game and we get to Hey Man, Nice Shot, it was just like, oh my fucking God, it is go time. And then you still have more Human Than Human in the chamber for the next scene. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's good.
So many good points of the song in the soundtrack. Yeah.
Were you into White Zombie? Were you like a?
No, not enough to own any of their albums. Like, but I'll take a hit on the Cowboy Guy soundtrack. I'll take a hit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take the one song, but
no Astro Creep 3000. You didn't have it.
No. At the time, I was not really my cup of tea.
Jason, you didn't do any of that stuff, right? You were already in your like electronic zone at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I was aware of it. I was listening exclusively to like New Order and the Pet Shop Boys. Like I really have like a very kind of narrow, like, you know, like people say it's like, what music is like, oh, I like all kinds of music, like everything. It's like, no, like yeah. Griffin so clearly has my brain. It's frightening because he will like find like some song that he like that tickles him, and he's like, no, this is I want to hear this song, like only exclusively this song, like for the rest of all time. And like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. You found the thing that itches the unitchable part of you, and you just need to just keep hammering it. I was aware of I all of the songs that are in the soundtrack of I am familiar with in this movie, but none of them were like, oh, this is my jam back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, these were definitely, like, I wasn't a Filter guy, but Hey Man, Nice Shot is definitely that's an all timer. Should we talk about the cast? What do you think?
Yeah.
Jesus, hold on one second.
He's going to go get the cast.
He's got
going to march him in.
Leslie Mann back in his his guest bedroom.
Special guest Leslie Mann. She's been in the bedroom / green room.
My fucking iPad is on airplane mode. It's on Do Not Disturb. This is one of
my favorite recurring bits.
My phone is on Do Not Disturb on airplane mode. Why is it ringing? Why are phone calls happening, interrupting my podcast?
This is going back to our major meta theme for the episode, which is middle-age rage. Like, this is H's thing. It's like,
fucking sucks, man.
The Do Not Disturb violation.
Hey, yeah.
So it's like coming from inside his house. He thinks
maybe
he
it's
has
somebody
control over himself and his devices, but he has none.
Guess what?
The inexorable march of death comes for us.
What if it's somebody from the police, H?
Could be the police.
Yeah, Diane. Could be Diane.
Diane from the police. Andy Summer from the police.
Where were we? I'm completely thrown.
The cast. We're going to go
about the cast, and Dale and I said you got up, and we thought that maybe Leslie Mann was in your guest bedroom.
Smoke Show. My God, Leslie Mann. I don't know if she was already married to Judd at this point. I don't know if this was their first movie, but I just have been in love with her forever as they have done movie after movie together.
Yeah,
she's great.
Yeah, really fantastic. Well, can we start with Jim?
Let's start with Jim.
Let's do it.
He does Peggy Sue Got Married, In Loving Color, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, okay, this is crazy. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Batman Forever, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Those 4 movies come out in 94 and 95.
That's me
insane.
Alive. That's Dale_A. Those 5 movies.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Then
Crazy.
you have Liar, Liar, which I never saw. But then the Truman Show. Now we're on another trajectory. So we have Truman Show, Man on the Moon, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which we know Dave Mandel and his partner wrote, The Majestic, Bruce Almighty, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like, that is a run of very serious, really good movies. Then you have Series of Unfortunate Events and like 20 years of stuff, and then the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. He's back. He's like, this time we're getting the money.
Yeah. In that first run, that first chunk of movies, and watching it with the cable guy, just him being performative on screen, and I get exhausted for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, it's his bread and butter, and that's how he gets paid, but just to be able to act so over the top and bombastic all the time, like, I am just, like, worn out. I'm sweating just thinking about him just acting in front of these crew.
Yeah.
Several takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And, you know, I don't feel the same way about, like, Jack Black, who is, like, similarly, like, very broad in his presentation. There's something, like...
Not in this movie, but in other ones, yeah.
Yeah, not in this movie, but, like, over time has become more bombastic.
Yeah, like the energy, yes.
There's something more kind of human about Jack Black's, like, broadness, whereas, like, Jim Carrey has kind of, like, a fuck-offness to him that's like, okay, like, this is just to be admired from a distance. Like, this is like a special animal in the zoo you don't want to tap on the glass. Whereas, like, Jack Black is like, oh, like, you know, this, like, you can imagine, you're like, I bet he's really fun to, like, hang out with. And in fact, like, literally everyone who talks about Jack Black is like, he is the most dreamy person to hang out with all the time. Man. Like, all the SNL people are like, he's the best one we've ever had. So I don't know. There's something a little off-putting about Jim Carrey's aura. Something like a little dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely right. I mean, but he's like, even before he's on screen, right? Cable guy. And he's doing this big stuff, jerk off. I'm just messing with you. Like, really funny when he's going big, but I love, there's all these little moments. There's all these little, like, whispered lines and all these things that are so fun. The honk honk, la, 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 like, like, or I don't want to pull a hammy. Like, that was, I said that line all the time. I don't know why, but that just worked with me.
I think, for me, that's my humor. To this day, I'd say it at least every day. And nobody ever understands what I'm saying, but literally, like, I'm telling people that, that is my humor, but also I'm quoting the cable guy, which I love, and when I say that's my humor, and nobody understands what I'm doing. That's my favorite line. Yeah.
I knew it. And so his performance is super interesting because you have this whole really funny thing that he's doing, and he is like 1,000 watts. You're right. That notion of him being dangerous in the way he moves, the way he talks, the way, like, all of that stuff. But then you have this kind of like the borderline and the kind of scary element of, like, just how he starts the friendship, how he kind of entraps him to get it going, or that notion of, dude, salt peanuts. For whatever reason, that's the scene that I always think of when I think about this movie. But him doing that, salt peanuts, as he's destroying Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Really, really good. But the notion that he gets into the family, he's burrowed in there, and they like him more than Steven, right? Like, in the party with the password. It's just so good.
And then you find out that he had a conversation with his family before he showed up, and he's like, we were expecting this, right? When Steven, like, freaks out on him and stuff. It's like, we were expecting this, you know, we gotta be, it's like, geez, you sicko.
Yeah, he's got it all dialed in. But then you also have the touching elements, right? So, like, up on the satellite dish where he's like, he's talking about his dad or whatever. He's like, it's not Father's Knows Best. It's a steel-toed Kodiak to the face. Like, you do feel bad for him at moments throughout this movie.
No, definitely. You're meant to have some sympathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
I had the closed captioning on for this movie, and when he is chasing Steven around medieval times with the the Star Trek weapons, it just says trilling when he's like,
yeah.
It's like, that's perfect. Andy Dick,
That's
goated, like, Andy Dick's performance. He was on screen for 15 seconds.
Look, man,
when
get on
he's
the horse.
Like, he's controlling the entire audience. You know, love Andy Dick in this movie.
Dude, that shit is so great. I have a whole point on Medieval Times. I mean, just the Star Trek of it, as somebody like Star Trek, the original series, when you were watching, Facts of Life, I was watching original series every day, like in syndication every afternoon. That was my jam. So the idea of Time Amok, one of the greatest ever. And even like all of the soundtrack for the original series is so good. They have so much good stuff there. But Janine Garofalo, there were no utensils at Medieval Times, hence there are no utensils at Medieval Times. My God. Awesome. Just awesome. And they're having fun. This is the thing I think that Broderick does really well, is you have him realizing how fucked up the situation is and being really turned off by the situation, but then you also have him really enjoying moments, and you see him smiling and having a good time and getting swept up into it. And I think that's what makes this movie work, because he does take that journey. Did that hit for you guys as well?
Dale, I defer.
Yeah,
to Dale.
no. Okay. No, I think it helps a whole bunch, because he can't help but, he's repulsed when bad things happen, and he knows he's being sort of abused or swindled into like, and being entrapped, and he's in real danger. But he's also like having like these moments of fun, and it's got to twist up his insides, but he's having a great time, and I think it makes the movie work, and it makes you like be sympathetic, but also you're still on team Chip Douglas the entire time he's like ruining Steven's life.
It's a very interesting parallel, the Matthew Broderick character here versus the Election character, right?
Right.
And it's basically the same. It's basically the same vibe, where you're like, oh, this is like a guy who's just kind of like trying to make do with his like sort of quiet desperation life where things aren't great, but his love life sucks and blah 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 blah. But then you're like, oh wait, no, actually he sucks. Like fuck him up. Yeah. Like like
yes.
There's an element where you're just like, no, fuck this guy.
The reveal when Chip tells him that Heather is a prostitute.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I checked her out.
Yeah.
I'm clean as a horse, not a drip.
He's like just scarfing the eggs like it's no big deal. He's just downing those eggs.
Holy
He's like,
shit.
it's my treat. I get this one next time you buy.
Let's see. Other people on the cast and crew here: David Cross, Bob Odenkirk, Owen Wilson, Charles Napier over for karaoke. The whole karaoke crew, the old man singing American Woman, I thought was hilarious.
That's like the midpoint in the movie.
Yeah.
Incidentally, is that whole scene, like where it kind of goes, it kind of goes
Raoul.
Off the rails right before he sleeps with the prostitute.
That dude Raul is one of the orphans in the Warriors.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
cool.
like when he's like the head orphan, and he comes up, he's like, you're in our territory now, and like they basically get punked, and the girl
Kick his
leaves.
ass?
The girl like leaves the orphans party because they're ain't shit compared to the Warriors.
Hell yeah. Did you know it's based on the Odyssey, Dale? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Are you reading that? Are you reading the Odyssey right now, Dale? Before the movie comes out?
I'm on Folio Society right now, getting my my gold-leafed copy of the Odyssey.
The Fitzgerald translation, of course, obviously. Jason, what's your next point, my friend?
I thought like the filmmaking was really interesting. I think like he kind of threads a line between doing a psychological thriller and a broad comedy. Like it's a movie without a lot of stylistic filmmaking parallels, I would say. Like there's elements of this that feel like a Hitchcock movie. And then there's elements of this that feel like, a broad Jim Carrey comedy, even though it's like not a comedy in the same way. It's just like, there's elements of it that are very zany. And like, obviously if you go to like there's elements that feel like a Hitchcock movie, I would say, particularly like the end of the movie, like, the whole chase, like the falling apart, the unraveling, the last third.
Yeah.
But no Hitchcock movie would have anything approaching like the medieval time scene as an example.
Right.
Like the medieval time scene is purely just like No, we're doing this one for funsies. Like, this is gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And it's very, very fun. So I find that a stylistic balance that's very complicated.
I was noting there were a lot of really good camera moves in this. So the DP here is Robert Brinkman. Dale, among other things, he did U2 Rattle and Hum.
Wow.
Hello.
We're in the presence
Encino
of
Man.
royalty.
Encino Man.
Wow.
The Cable Guy. The Rules of Attraction. R.I.P. James Vanderbeek.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
I know.
I guess we've been off since that happened. That's a great movie. I don't know if you guys have seen Rules of Attraction. That's the sequel, kind of like it's like the cinematic universe to American Psycho. It's Patrick Bateman's cousin, played by Vanderbeek. It's a great movie. It's very intense and dark and funny. So as you would expect from that, he also shot Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny, which I've never seen.
Wow.
Is it good? Is it good, Dale?
I remember liking it. I remember that being like something. When did that come out?
It's like 2005 or 2007 or something like that.
I remember like ordering that on my iPod. I bought that on my iPod Video or something like that back then. I just remember like needing something. I was like, okay, the soundtrack and the movie are coming out. I'm gonna get that and make it my thing for my new iPod Video or whatever the hell it was around that time. I can't remember.
I mean, I watched Tenacious D, the HBO television special, which was produced by Cross and Odenkirk. And that is one of the best TV shows of all time. You got John C. Reilly playing Sasquatch. That's where you have the original Greatest Song in the World and stuff. So many of those songs. They all came from that show, just like Flight of the Conchords. And then when the album came out, that was on permanent rotation. Like I listened to Tenacious D, the album, like pretty much every day for probably two or 3 months. The Dust Brothers produced it after doing Paul's Boutique, so it was like they did that in Fight Club. I was all about that shit. Real good. Well done movie. I agree.
Was that Kyle Gass in this movie?
Yeah, of course. Picking up a book at the end, like a chimpanzee in freaking 2001. Could we do something else? Your final point, Dale.
I don't know if I have a final point.
Yeah, you don't have to. Don't make him back you into a corner.
No.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
No, you don't have to. I just want to make sure I don't want to cut you out.
No, yeah. I just I haven't watched this movie in a long time, so it was great to go back and watch this movie. I really want something with some more back matter to it now. Like now that I see it with 46-year-old eyes, this aged incredibly well for me. Love this movie, and I'd like to I don't know, see what else is floating out there in terms of like back matter and stuff. Just gives me a huge appreciation for everybody in front and behind the camera. Like just to see Ben Stiller doing this and then growing into like the man that I end up loving in front of the camera, but to see him being the person he wants to be directing films behind the camera and stuff like that. That's my final point.
Getting from here, getting from here through Zoolander, Tropic Thunder, all this shit, and then ending up at Severance, and directing 11 episodes of Severance and really setting a tone. It really is.
His co-showrunner along the way. Had to fucking bury a body in Tim Cook's backyard in order to get that show, rest that show control.
Was that the deal?
Some dirty tricks going on there. I don't know.
Was there a third guy? Because Dan Erickson is still there, right? Was there a third guy?
There's some convoluted history where like Stiller was he's like, oh, I'm not going to be that involved, and I was like, okay, psych, I'm going to direct all the shows, and then like one of the showrunners went away. I was like, yeah, it's classic kind of.
It happens.
Classic move.
Classic fifth Beatle situation. I think we hit my other honorable mentions. The only one I had was Jason Steven didn't avoid the bookings, beloved. He got arrested on a Friday, and so he was there for the weekend.
So Jesus Amaro shout out.
Yeah, but oh my God, but that scene. Oh, Billy! I mean, come on, that is
man. Broderick's reaction. He's like, "You're gonna get me fucking murdered in here." So
that
like,
guy's smiling
out completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really good. Dale, who would Tilda Swinton play?
Oh, my God. Who would Tilda Swinton? She would play. Tilda would play Steven's boss at the architecture firm.
With the plugs.
Hair plugs.
I like it. That is good. Jason?
I think Tilda would play like Matthew Broderick's mom in the porno. Password
Great.
scene.
I was so convinced. I had a note. I went down a whole thing prepping. I was like, Jason, do you know who that is? That actress was the woman who played Captain Rachel Garrett of the Enterprise C in yesterday's Enterprise.
Wow.
But then it
Damn.
turned out it was not. It was not her.
Okay.
It was not her. It's a different
Story.
completely
story.
different actress. How's that?
It's a good story. It's a great pull.
Thank
it's
you.
A great.
Thank
We've managed to get H to
Gotcha.
hallucinate facts.
Exactly. Oh man. I guess I'm going to go with her as the old man singing American Woman.
American Woman.
Yeah, great.
Bet she would knock that
Right.
out. Woo.
Owen Wilson.
All right, guys.
Beria
yeah.
brought up Owen Wilson, though. He's like, she would
It
be
is-
good at that, but also the way Owen Wilson acts in this movie is just incredible. I love his
Yeah.
small bit part.
Such
It
an
is
asshole.
funny to see like sort of Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Leslie Mann, like in sort of like I was like, oh okay, like this is like the proto like you
Yeah.
know, or like like ancient text.
Yes.
From which like much more memorable things have been produced, or like things that like at least I'm more familiar with.
Yeah. Like the
Of
early
course.
2000s would just like flower out of whatever seed
Yeah.
was planted here.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time. All right, guys, are you ready to do some quick voicemails? Boom. Here is our first voicemail.
This is your brother, Animal Mother.
Let's go.
Here's an impression for you. Gary! I'll do anything for a war.
Hello, animal friends and animal lovers. Besides the talking butthole, Equinsu Osha has a tenuous relationship with reality. As a living, breathing Ren and Stimpy episode, he can be so frantic as to basically be all by himself in any stage, with his co-stars playing as mere props to his mad gags. That isolation plays very well with his nameless cable guy, a basket case hyperfixated on basic bitch Matthew Broderick. While Carrie's characters can be both endearing and annoying, this lispy stalker is mostly off-putting, and his clownish antics have a dark core of hostile desperation. True to form, the funny guy played it big, but this time you could laugh, cringe, and be afraid of him. The password is nipple. Besides Jim Carrey, can you think of other memorable comedians that nail going dark? Thank you all. See you at medieval times, and keep the change, you filthy animals.
I mean, obviously, Robin did it for Nolan in Insomnia. And even separate from The Dark, just the idea of really funny comedians that then become serious dramatic actors, that Robin did that same trajectory as well, is just really good. It's really fun to see them make that happen. It's good shit.
Robin is a good example. Jim Carrey. I feel again. I'm coming back to Jack Black. He deserves his chance to do this. You need to give Jack Black like like some kind of dramatic part. or like
He's really good in School of Rock, which is
Yeah.
Linklater, right? So it's got really good heart to it. He's definitely full blown Jables mode in that movie, but he has such a sense of vulnerability and compassion in there that shines through it all. But I don't think he ever really did that run of dramatic roles. And it's kind of funny. As I was prepping, it's exactly the same time for him busting out here as Philip Seymour Hoffman busting out in Twister and in Boogie Nights and that kind of stuff. And you could imagine a world like just Jack was already plugged into the Mr. Show guys, so he just went down the improv and comedy program as opposed to doing the serious acting piece.
Yeah. Man, I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Jesus. Yeah.
What talent.
Really good. Thank you so much, Animal Mother. We missed this voicemailer just before our last episode, and he is back. Mr. Java. Woo! All right, buckle up. When your love life is put on. Don't you want some cable to hog? Don't you need some nipple to stroke? Wouldn't you punch another bearing bro? You better find the apartment she spot. When your password mate is your I love this movie. I have so many great memories of seeing it. It's so eminently quotable. Thank you so much for doing it. I hope you had the best time with unhinged Jim Carrey. We have to kill the babysitter. Tell me a great babysitter story. I'm sure both of you have a good one. Let us hear it.
You need human contact right now.
Listen. So great. So great to have Java back. What a talent.
Yes.
What an unbelievable talent. I was a babysitter for a while. I both was a babysitter. I can't really ever remember being babysat that often, to be perfectly honest. But I was a babysitter for the guy who owned the software store that I worked at in high school, which we have discussed on this pod many times. So it was a real like multiple income stream from that family.
You weren't doing credit card chargebacks. You were just babysitting the kids.
I was an honorable employee, not stealing from the till.
Did you ever work at a software store, Dale?
Would you like to, Dale?
Software store? You're telling me there's maybe a part-time availability? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever worked at it. I would have liked to, but I had the music stores, and that was me. Did you have
an early PC gaming phase? Did you ever have a Commodore 64 or like a 486 or something?
No. I would go over to my friend Kevin's house, and we would game on his like compact, like 486 or something like that. But I was never privy to like early computer gaming, not before 99, something like that.
Got it. Fair enough. It's funny. The first thing I thought was I babysat at one point, and the family, I liked babysitting for them because they had a ColecoVision. So I would sit with the kids and we would play.
That's
ColecoVision.
so strong, man.
That's cool.
ColecoVision is so clutch.
Just making money.
Much less seen.
Yeah. Classic. Thank you, Java. Welcome back. Here is our next voicemail. The truth sayer. Give me some truth.
Hey, Alberia here for the Cable Guy Truth Sayer. This is a movie about unhealthy attachments, malfunctioning boundaries, and Jim Carrey in all his glory, right? Which got me thinking, Carrey is not just a national treasure in his homeland of Canada. He is, in fact, part of a larger cabal of Canadian notoriety. For today's Truth Sayer, let's look at three famous Canadians that Jim Carrey is rumored to be related to. Two of these are genealogical nonsense. One, 100% true. Time for the Truth Sayer. Number one, Jim Carrey is third cousins with Celine Dion, thanks to a distant branch of the Dion family tree that includes several Montreal area entertainers. Or is it number two, Jim Carrey shares a great-grandfather with legendary Pittsburgh Penguin Mario Lemieux, meaning Carey could theoretically have been a 6'4", silky-handed power forward if life had gone differently. Or is it number three, Jim Carrey is third cousins with the late, great Alex Trebek, the iconic host of Jeopardy, a connection traced through their French-Canadian ancestry in Ontario and Quebec. All right, which one of these Canadian connections is the real family tie?
I mean, in some sense, aren't we all third cousins with Alex Trebek? I mean, like, if we're going back that far, it feels like, you know.
Anything's game at that point.
I'm going with the Celine Dion because she's got like that diva gene runs deep.
Yeah,
that's what I'm betting on.
Dale,
I'll go Mario Lemieux.
Okay,
silky-handed. Got into some heated rivalry content there for me.
Yeah,
I'm taking Trebek. Let's see.
Were you able to spot the truth about Jim Carrey's Canadian relations? It's number three, Jim Carrey and Alex Trebek are third cousins.
Yes.
A link confirmed through their shared French-Canadian heritage. You can see the family resemblance in that when they both wear that iconic mustache, they share a deep, spiteful hatred of Owen Wilson. Here ends the Truth Sayer.
Strong.
Nice. Thank you, Beria.
Thank you, Beria.
Amazing. It's good to have everybody back.
I know.
I'm digging it. All right, here is our next voicemail from Kev.
Hello, Escape Hatch. Hi, Dale. It's Kev here. This week, of course, we are talking about Ben Stiller's cult classic, The Cable Guy. And I just want to give, first of all, a shout out to Dale, not just for being a great guy and a great friend, but a guiding light to me through the wacky world of podcasting and whatnot. You are amazing. I love you. Thank you.
Oh,
so thinking about The Cable Guy leads me to think about cable TV, which is kind of given away to doom scrolling through short form video, which is, I hate to say it, destroying all our brains and making us all hate ourselves and each other. It's just what it is. So in the spirit of nostalgia, Kev's question, if you could program a cable channel, what would you put on there and why?
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure mine would be a mix of mid-2000s VH1, early 2000s Cartoon Network, and late 90s TBS, if only so Mackenzie and I could host Dinner and a Movie, and so my Laurie Strode Trap House podcast companion Anna Gould and I could host Monster Vision. Just a thought, what would you put on an old school cable network? With peace and love, I'll talk to you all very soon.
Once again, it's Kev's questions. Damn.
That's a great question. Kev, did you catch the Annabelle Gurwitch in The Cable Guy, too, speaking of Dinner and a Movie?
Who was she?
She's one of Broderick's family members during Porno Password.
Okay, nice. Wow.
That's a great question.
The first thing that just popped in my head was I'd love to have just easy access to all the Iron Chef, the Food Network translations of the Japanese versions. That to me was the peak. And I remember we used to watch the Japanese version with Chinese subtitles because that was all that was available. It was on channel 26 here in the Bay Area. And that was how I first got exposed. So that would be really fun.
I would need like CW the UPN back for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel for sure. I think like if you go early 90s, like when I was in high school, I would need like local station channel 11 because it showed a bunch of movies, like Saturday movies, whatever that that were pretty important and on a pretty heavy rotation. And like I need my Arliss, so I guess like HBO.
Dream On.
I need Dream On and Arliss.
Dale, did you used to have like regional horror movies and stuff like on Saturday mornings or whatever? Did you ever have anything like that? Or
Yeah, we had like Philly 57 was early, like pre-UPN. I don't know what that would have been before UPN. And then we had WPIX 11 out of New York too, which was a lot of horror movies and stuff like that. That was like the biggest source of horror movies back then. WPIX 11. Yeah, but I would. Let's see. Like we ran through it earlier. I'd put some What's Happening on there, some Three's Company. I'd put Saved by the Bell on there. I'd put Facts of Life. I'd put like TBS Friday night, like Dinner and a Movie, Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs, for sure. God,
it's amazing. I guess we should be able to just create all of our own channels, right? For that, like that would be a cool thing to be able to do. Tubi basically has something similar to that.
Like live channels, you mean, or
yeah, like we should be able to just broadcast our thing. We could be making money right now. Jason, can you get a bot working on it?
No problem. Let's spin up another agent right now.
Here is our final voicemail. Cool. All right, here we go.
Escape Hatch. Dale! Hey, this is Corey calling from Austin, Texas. About 1996 is A Cable Guy, directed by Ben fucking Stiller. This was my first watch of this movie. Can you believe it?
Crazy.
I'm not the biggest Jim Carrey fan, especially like his comedy stuff. I know that sounds fucking crazy. I've seen more of his movies where he plays like a serious role than the comedy role. But anyway, I did enjoy it. It was very 90s. I think my favorite part of this movie was just seeing all the different comedian cameos in here, because it is like prime time, awesome time for Gen X comedians. And I loved all the Ben Stiller stuff with the twin brother, like child actors, and like the kind of Menendez trial thing going on. It was really good. A lot of great references, of course, like Ben Stiller would do a lot on his show and lots of stuff. The Ben Stiller comedy show was fucking awesome back in the day. So anyway, I did enjoy it. Jim Carrey's doing it. I mean, it wouldn't exist without Jim Carrey doing his Jim Carrey fucking shit. So obviously you need him for this movie to work. Broderick's fucking awesome. I do enjoy Broderick as well. Do you remember that he killed somebody in like a drunk driving accident? I need to look that up. Isn't Broderick a murderer?
Yeah, he's a murderer.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Not a murderer.
Yeah. So there's that.
He's a killer.
Pretty good soundtrack, some dubious picks, but that Jerry Cantrell song at the end, Leave Me Alone, fucking banger. All right. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about this. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Who would Tilda Swinton play? She should play, I guess I just want to default and say the Cable Guy, but I really do think that Carrey is irreplaceable in this movie, despite my feelings for his comedic stylings. And let's put her as the Broderick character. How about that? Yeah, that's it. All right, had a lot of fun. Can't wait to hear you guys talk about it. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
1 second.
Love you, Corey.
I'm trying to find. Oh, we got one more. Hold on.
Wow.
Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot.
What?
Rest in power, Uncle Floyd. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Corey. Dang, he got it in.
Who's Uncle Floyd?
Oh man, Uncle Floyd was regional. Like I think he was up in New York or North Jersey, but we got him down in South Jersey. But he did this wacky variety show. He wore this like plaid blazer. He like sat in front of a piano the entire time. He would sing. He would do these terrible comedic bits that were just amazing. He had this little hand puppet clown. Like if you'd he just Floyd Viverino or something. I forget what his name is, but yeah, if you look up Uncle Floyd on YouTube, he's a treasure trove in there.
Foundational for you. Yeah.
Very foundational. Yeah, he would be on like public access, or he would PBS or something.
When Corey brought up this question about Matthew Broderick and his car accident, and I don't really know the details.
It was him and Jennifer Grey. They were in England, and I think they were driving on the wrong side of the road. That's what I recall.
What?
It's like a real
That's illegal
situation.
I think that's what happened, and they got in a car crash.
Jumped in so quickly to be like not a murderer Like he was really ready with that defense. And it made me just for the first time question if maybe H has killed someone, and like for the such that like that distinction of like not being a murderer is important to him. He's like, look, like it was involuntary manslaughter. It wasn't murder. Like and Dale, let me put before Matt responds. Let me just pose the question to you this way: if you were to find out right now that at like gymnastics camp when he was 15 or whatever, that he accidentally shot another kid at gymnastics camp and killed them.
It's a breakdancing accident.
Would you be like, I don't know if you would be completely shocked. I would not be completely shocked. I'll say that about myself. How would you react to that news?
I would not be completely shocked.
Right. It
I would not be
feels
completely
like
shocked.
something that may well have happened at Florida gymnastics camp. Is that H
And
just fucking murked another tumbler.
The entire time he's telling you that, like, he's telling us about it, he's literally like shoring up his defense about why
it was
whatever
okay.
happened was just a mistake.
It
like
was an unpreventable accident.
Freak accident.
He's not like convulsing or shaking. His hand's not shaking up to his mouth, like dredging up the past. He's just like, his one leg is crossed over the other leg. His fingers are folded out and resting on his knees.
That was the most amazing thing about this mentalist at the wedding, is that he was like, it's Detroit where you murdered someone. He knew like both parts of it. It's I mean, that's hard to pull. That's a
really
good cold read.
He forgot the part where the mentalist like jerked up, like looked upwards, and he started like
summon the soul of the murdered kid, of the kid that ain't shot at gymnastics.
Yeah, he's
camp.
pleading with the mentalist to tell his story.
It's a real downer for the wedding reception.
Yeah.
Pre-dinner. They really put a damper
Sure.
on things.
Put a damper on the proceedings. Who invited the murderer?
I'm sorry, Billy.
Not a murder.
sorry.
Involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, we did it, you guys. We
did it.
Did it. Dale, what do you have to plug, my friend?
Go to batandspider.com. We're trucking. We're trucking over there. We're still doing episodes despite what the numbers say. We are there for you, and join our Discord. A lot happens in the Discord. We do a lot of watch parties and stuff outside and agnostic of the show. We just keep the community kind of engaged in our little community, and our watch parties are like real deal, fucking primal. Like, you want to get down and dirty with like Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, or Heron Keeper of the Oil Sheiks. There's a side for you in the Bat and Spider Discord.
Well,
we have a corner for you, a space.
It's a beautiful community. If we don't see you before it happens, congratulations on the countdown to 300. I'm stoked for you guys. Way to go.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
See what's happening. So stay tuned for that.
We got to start thinking about episode 300 too. We're very close. So like internally we need to start.
It's time to start.
Like whiteboarding some ideas, I guess. I don't know.
It's great. We just booked our guests. We just chose the movie. We are locked and loaded. We're ready to go.
All
no
right.
one's guessed anything so far. So far, so good.
So
Jason,
pre-congrats to you guys before Jason speaks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Much appreciated. Jason, what do you have to plug?
Two things. Early access for World of Warcraft Midnight drops on Thursday. Ahead of its full release next week. Is the perfect time to join Warcraft.
Dale, why don't you join? Why don't you join this?
Dale popped into our channel. Dale popped into our channel.
But we have a guild.
He joined the guild. He's in the guild.
I'm in the guild.
You are?
Yeah, he's got a character in the guild.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah, you're not up on current events.
I'm
off.
It's very exciting. I'm excited about it. Thing 2. I just want to describe my Claude agent setup at this point because it's so robust. I've got a dedicated Mac Mini that just runs Claude code with a user that is only able to access like the directories where the code lives. It doesn't have access to the rest of the machine. I connect to that via SSH from like my PC.
Jesus.
And so I can like always I have like a tunnel set up, a VPN set up, so I can always get access to the Mac Mini from anywhere, including my phone. So at any time from anywhere, I can be talking to my Claude agents. They can do everything. They can deploy code. They can fix bugs. They can write new features. They can do everything. The only thing I haven't figured out how to do well is like build the iOS feature, because you have to run Xcode and like, run a,
No, there's a new startup that's like a one-click deployment to App Store.
The deploying isn't the hard part.
There's some wrapper thing where you don't need Xcode. I just saw this on a tweet the other day.
All right. But that's the thing, is everything's changing so fast. So I have this whole setup where I have like this VPN, tunneling, and whatever. Like an hour before we recorded, Anthropic announced, oh yeah, we're doing a thing in Claude Code called remote only or remote takeaway or something like that. Like pick up the remote. I forget what it's called. But basically you're in Claude Code, you're doing your business, and then you just do a / command remote. It gives you a unique URL, which you paste into the iPhone Claude app. And then you're just like, it just ports your session over to your phone. It like takes out all the middle plumbing that I established. It is such a exciting time. Like there's a lot of problems with AI that I don't want to gloss over in this brief bit of hype, because like, we got to figure out this stuff with the data centers. We got to figure out like all the safety stuff. But if you like technology, if you've always sort of just been like a nerd who likes computers, the way in which computers are changing right now is more dramatic than anything since the beginning of the internet, at least, and possibly since like the personal computer was introduced. It is such a dramatically different way for computers to be interacted with and software to be produced, that it's just like every day feels like a fucking just, I don't know what, a science fiction movie. It's crazy. A lot of stuff going on.
Wow.
A lot of stuff going on.
Amazing. It'll be great, right? Until the collapse.
It'll be fine until there's no jobs, until everyone is laid off and there's widespread global unrest. And we have
storms.
Yeah.
Storms, yeah.
Nowhere to poop, according to the Pentagon.
Yeah, it'll be Interstellar. We're back to Interstellar.
Yeah.
Guys, we did it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for listening. We love you guys, and we will see you on the flip side.